or the energetic realm are having their experience to learn. And it was no different with us. We wanted to learn. We wanted to learn what it was like to be on Gaia in the physical. And a lot of us wanted to be there at the times that we were there or were here in Earth's history. Some of us really wanted to connect. Actually, a lot of us wanted to really connect with humans in a positive way. And because of the misunderstanding, because of the times, because of the hierarchy of what was right and what was wrong, and that mankind or humankind was had at that time, at most of those times, had a better than thou attitude towards other sentient beings on the planet, that we wanted to experience that. And some of us were hoping to break that barrier. We did with a very few humans.
Could you actually communicate with them?
Yes. We say yes tentatively because most of the humans we communicated with were not aware that we were doing that. We did it through their dream time. We did it through their storytelling. They would start to make up stories about, oh, well, I saw this dragon, and, for the most part, it was not that they actually did see us. We were communicating with them, and they were seeing us in the like energetic realm or in the dreamtime realm or whatever, and therefore they were making up these stories that they thought were just stories, that it was just their imagination. But a lot of these cases that wasn't true. There was communication going on, but they could not recognize that, or did not recognize that as communication coming from us.
Yes. It sounds like your level of consciousness was superior or more advanced than humans. If humans were in the third dimension of consciousness, what would the dragons at that time have been?
Well, we could and still do vary between 4 and 6. Some of us, you see, as always, these are very, we laugh because these are very human questions. Yes. Because to define a physical being or an energetic being by height and width and years and all those things are just so very human, and we, like so many other energies, have mixed DNA, and so we're not just dragons. We're what we present to you are primarily dragons, and you think of us as, you envision us in a certain way when you think of us in a physical form. But we have various DNA from various other collectives and energies throughout the universes.
I'll try and present that, but I am writing for humans.
Yes, and we understand that, and therein lies a problem, because you see, this is always a problem with a written word, with an audio word, with a video, and it also is a problem not only with languaging, but it becomes very much an audience demographic. Who is it that you really want to speak to? Because if you're speaking to, let us try and narrow things down. If you're speaking to just channelers or just light workers, or star seeds or whatever, then you can speak on a very different level, and we can talk about energetic, the energeticness of beings and collectives and so forth. If you're talking to the average person that doesn't know very much about this stuff, then you really have to, from our perspective and yours, kind of, and we don't mean this with any disrespect, but dumb it down a little.
Mm-hmm.
Because there isn't the understanding of the energetics. There isn't an understanding that that we are more than just what you might conceive of as a dragon, or of what we're here to do, whether we're physical or energetic. And we work so closely with so many other collectives, like all the collectives do, and you do too. It's just that most of you, even the light workers, are only minusculely, we would say, aware of how much you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even yet. And of course, traveling further into your journey, you will understand that more. You will, and not only will you understand better, but you will be traveling differently, and you will be much more aware of who you're interacting with. But right now, that is, it's difficult for you to really understand how we do it from our perspective.
Yes. I'm writing for the 3D mind, you might say, that is beginning to awaken and has awakened. And I don't think I have nearly as much to offer the light workers and those who are moving on to the fourth and maybe the fifth dimension. However, it may raise questions in their minds to pursue a little more on their own. But yes, I think dumbing it down is a fair term, but I'm not sure that I'm dumbing it down that much to get it to a point where the awakening human can still think about a dragon as a four-story magnificent beast that populated the planet at one time, and unfortunately got more or less slain and chased away, and were decided to just exit. I don't think those terms are beyond humans. I don't know. I guess I may have to find the right balance in all of this. But I do want to get some of the basics down, like, how many were you, for example, in those times of King Arthur and such? How did you survive? Did you eat plants? You're carnivorous? I think some of those things would be quite interesting to a lot of people, awakened or not.
Yes. Okay. We were both plant eaters and carnivores, herbivores, and carnivores. We didn't physically eat as much as you might think a body of that size would eat, because we were so centered in our energetics. We did not need to eat as much, and so it wasn't like we would eat a huge chunk of forest in a couple of days or something like that. We used our energy in very different ways from what any of you have been used to, for the most part, and still are used to. So we didn't have to consume that much physical food. We did a lot of roaming around, looking. We were very collectively oriented in that we were family oriented. We, there's a male and a female that produced a young dragon, and the gestation period was okay. Let's talk about the group of us that say we're here for 200 years. The gestation of a dragon of that sort would be 4 or 5 years, and then the young would be born alive. I mean, not through an egg, so kind of like mammals, and we would take great care of that young one, not only the male and female that produced it, but many of the close-knit collective in that physical area that we resided in. So it was very much a community effort to raise our young. They were taught from day one. Although most of the dragons that were born at that time were not sighted, did not have sight at birth, and so they depended on us, on the parents, for pretty much everything. There weren't a lot of predators, as you can imagine. So we didn't really need to worry about that. We could move around fairly quickly when we needed to. Most of us could fly, but we didn't choose to a lot because we wanted the experience of being grounded on Gaia. And the young ones, of course, couldn't fly for quite some time. So we needed to choose during the gestation period and the birthing period a place where we could stay put for quite a number of years, so that the young could grow and learn to forage and hunt. And and there would be certain times of, not the year so much, but certain times within our lifespan when the young would be born, so that there would be several young born in close proximity to each other.
Yes, I was wondering about that. How many might a female have in the course of her lifetime?
Well, we would birth one at a time, very rarely more, because we knew energetically that and physically that it was going to take a lot of work, and we chose it to be so, to rear this being. And there was so much that we wanted to teach it, not only to physically survive, but to energetically, to mold their energy in with the physical, to have the best possible experience here on the planet. So there was information being downloaded to the offspring's parents, blood parents, as well as the close-knit community during the gestation of this young one, so that they could better understand how to rear this one, how to energize it with energies from afar that we have all brought on to the planet, also using the energies of other collectives that wish to help us to have this experience on the planet.